This edition of the Rahman Experience is brought to you by the Jacksonville Free Press newspaper, providing quality urban news for more than 30 years. PMP Nutrition and Supplements. Find your best body right inside. It's pmpnutrition.com. And Edward Waters College, Florida's premier destination institution for emerging eminence. And now, it's one of the hottest podcasts in the country, the Rahman Experience.
Just like on the earth, through death comes life.
There is something in the atmosphere of Edward Waters College.
What about vaping and the effects on the lungs? It was a symbol of we can.
Rahman was a man of the city, you hear me?
You're inside the Rahman Experience.
It's the Rahman Experience.
The Rahman Experience.
The knowledge that he dropping, most dismiss and make you curious.
And we can't mess this up, cause you know he gon' be furious.
He bring the news to you, cause it's the truth, ain't no stopping it. Say you didn't know, well here's the proof coming from
Rahman Johnson, ain't no straight out of Compton. Duval County with that weight that we rockin'. Now you tuned in to the
Rahman Experience.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition of the Rahman Experience. It is me, Rahman Johnson, my producer. You know, it's cool. First of all, wait a minute. Before I start talking about my producer and welcome back and I'm back and all that good stuff, I gotta say thank you guys for waiting. It's been a couple weeks, but this is the premiere of Season 3, and I'm so excited to be back for Season 3 of the Experience. So many great episodes coming, a few things in the can. I've got some great interviews, so much more. And I'm joined here by my co-producer in the seat today. This is Justin Dorsey. What's up, son?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm amazing. Welcome back to the Experience. You've been in the Experience before, and it's been a lot of new stuff going on, right?
It has.
Kobe Bryant, we got a show coming up about that. We'll talk about the experience that he has had and his family. I mean, it's just so many things happening. But the good thing is we're back. We're back. And the news itself is just, there's so much to talk about. I don't know that we can talk about it all now, but, you know, the news is coming up. But what are you expecting to see this season?
A lot of positivity, a lot of informational type of interviews, you know.
And we'll see who's going to win the chance to challenge President Donald Trump.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think? You heard the new theme song. New theme song's up. Yeah, you heard some of the guys. What'd you think about that? That's pretty cool, right?
It was.
Yeah.
You created that, you said?
Well, it was us. It was a group effort. DJ Fluffy Lover, Linton Meggie, who's one of our grads who's now working in the industry.
Right.
He was producing it. There was Miles Grant on vocals. There was also Jay Weave. I don't know. I'm just going to call Javaris Jay Weave. And someone else. Who was it? It was Javaris. Oh, Miles Grant, Javaris, and one other. Somebody else. I think I'm missing somebody. I don't know who. Somebody else. Oh, Linton. Linton rapped on the track as well.
You said Linton.
Yeah, but he produced it and rapped on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's big stuff. I mean, DJ Fluffy Lover.
Right.
There it is. There it is. The big thing that we're talking about, I mean, there's this new virus that's going around the world. We don't know how that's running, but the thing that interests me most is the fact that people keep dropping out of the presidential campaign, and there's one woman who will not leave, Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
She's like, I ain't going nowhere.
She's not going nowhere.
It me. So she's just like, it me the whole time. This is funny. So I like being able to have this platform for the news that we can talk about all of those things. But what I'm most excited for, I think, today is the fact that on our first show of Season 3, we have got Reformed Butterfly. And this sister is a poet of poets. She's dropping knowledge.
Every time.
Oh, my God.
I was in one of them interviews.
Yeah, you were. You had a chance to meet her. And she's my workout part. It's funny. I knew her from our poetry days together. Mm-hmm. And I saw her at the gym. And speaking of reformed, pardon the pun, she reformed her whole body. So we're working out at the gym. And you know how I am about the gym.
Right.
And I didn't know it was her. And we would just speak to each other. Hello, how are you? Hello. You know, every time at the gym.
Right.
And finally we got to talking and we were on the same elliptical machine next to each other. And come to find out it's Reformed Butterfly. And we knew each other for years. So I'm really excited to be able to get her on the show. And WEWC Radio, that's kicking off. So we just got a lot of stuff happening.
Emotion.
Yeah, it's really emotion. I'm excited about it. And coming up in, even though it's March, in 6 weeks, a lot of people graduating.
A lot of people are graduating.
Yeah, it's crazy. Graduation season is here. So we got a lot of fun stuff happening, a lot of stuff to discuss. And of course, some special shows that'll be shows behind the show. So we won't do a show like every week. Sometimes there'll be 2 to 3 shows a week because there are things to discuss.
Pretty busy, huh?
All the time. So tell us what you want to hear, what you want to know. You can reach out to me on social media. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/RahmanJFans. You can find me on my social media of choice, Instagram, @RahmanJ. That's RAHMANJ. Or if there's something you want to hear, know about, or want to talk about on the show, you can also hit me on Twitter. I'm always a tweet away, right? It's @RAHMANJ. We'll be right back in moments with Reformed Butterfly. It's going to be an epic show. But first, the news. There's widespread fear, uncertainty, and misinformation as people around the world struggle to contain an outbreak of a new respiratory illness known as COVID-19 or the coronavirus. Now, the new strain of the common virus has killed more than 3,000 people around the world, with more than 95,000 confirmed cases in 80 countries. Now, the World Health Organization has resisted calling it a pandemic, but governments around the globe are taking precautions. Now, in the United States alone, there are 205 cases and 10 deaths that have been blamed on the outbreak. As Democrats in the United States line up to take on Donald Trump for the presidency in November's elections, there's one more candidate who's decided to bow out. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is the latest candidate to call it quits for her campaign. Now, she is behind former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, Senators Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, all of whom have thrown their support behind former Vice President Joe Biden. Now, while it's a two-person race between Bernie Sanders and Biden, both sides are clamoring for Warren's support. And Tulsi Gabbard is the lone woman in the race with only one delegate vote. And after years of sitting courtside for New York Knicks games, Academy Award-winning director Spike Lee says he's done, at least for the season.
I've been using the same entrance for 28 plus years. The employee's entrance on 33rd Street. Last night, I go in, my ticket gets scanned. I'm in. They wanted me to leave the garden, walk outside, out to 33rd Street, employee entrance where I came from, walk outside, and come back on 31st Street. And I said, I'm not doing that. First of all, you scan my ticket. You can't scan a ticket twice. Also, I know that once you leave a sporting arena event, you can't come back in. So I don't trust these guys, so I'm not going for the okie doke.
Now, Madison Square Garden released a statement saying it's disappointing that Spike would create this false controversy to perpetuate drama. He's welcome to come to the Garden at any time via the VIP entrance, just not through the employee entrance. Right now, Spike Lee is currently in post-production on his brand new Netflix drama, Da 5 Bloods. There's more of the Rahman Experience in just moments as we sit down and chat with the Reformed Butterfly. We'll be right back.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov. U.S. taxpayer expense.
It's the Rahman Experience. Welcome to the show, and this show is going to be unlike any other. Amazing. And I say that about every show because every show is amazing and unique and different. And of course, we've got some of my amazing learning team members in the house from the communications team at Edward Waters College. And as you guys know, I have an affinity and a love for poetry. We have a poet, a thought leader, a forward thinker, and an amazing woman. So here they go. But first of all, to introduce my team, who all we got in the house? Who we got here?
You got Jay, a.k.a. Smooth. You already know.
These names, I can't. Okay, and your name, please.
Johnny Henry.
Thank you, Mr. SJ President. And you were on the show before, which we got some great feedback from, so thank you. Also producing the show this week is...
Javars Weaver.
Also known as...
J Music.
Here we go with that. And over here, who we got? Fidel Chapman, who has a really great Instagram following. And they're going to help me today interview what I think is one of the foremost artists, not only in Jacksonville, but in the country. This lady is shades of everything. I'd like to say that. I knew her years ago as Butterfly, as the host of one of the foremost spoken word events in Jacksonville, Florida. And I hadn't seen her in years. I'd moved away and gone to do television and all this other stuff. And I kept seeing this chick at the gym over and over. And and I'm a dancer. Anybody that knows me at the gym, I'm always dancing and moving and shaking and whatever I put on, whether it's trap day or African day, I'm shaking and moving. And I see this chick and she's always shaking and moving and dancing. And I'm like, who is this? Who is this? And I was like, she's beautiful. She's doing her thing. And every time we just speak to each other, because there's like a gym etiquette, right? Where you speak and then you keep moving. And finally one day we spoke to each other without just the head nod and hello, and noticed that we knew each other from the poetry scene. And since we've reconnected, we've had a chance to really talk and bond. And I'm so excited to welcome finally to the Rahman Experience. This is Alicia. And I didn't know your last name was Garcia. I was always McFadden. Right?
It's a long story.
Okay, so I'm
McFadden.
Okay, so I'm going to call it, but this is Reformed Butterfly. This is just Butterfly. Hey, welcome to the Rahman Experience.
I'm so grateful, so thankful to be here.
It is so awesome to have you here.
I love that you told them the truth about our story, and how we're saying hello to each other for weeks, and then
it was like months. It was months.
Like, I love your energy. And then we looked at each other long enough. And like, wait a minute, I know you.
Like, know you.
Yes, I know you. And then we just put it all together. And of course, for it to be surrounded by poetry.
Absolutely. It was just crazy that we were able to connect again. And I remember when you were pregnant.
Oh.
And now the baby is how old?
She'll be 9 years old in 2 days.
We're just going to leave that right there. And it was so funny because I saw you with the baby. You're at Art Walk in Jacksonville. And I saw you with the baby downtown.
Yes.
And so I'm like, hey, I remember you. And at first she's like, who you? Like, she was like, what set you from? Like, she remembered me from hosting on TV
Ritz.
and the
She
Ritz.
remembered you from the Ritz Theater.
And she gave me the biggest hug.
I know you.
Yeah, she was like, oh my God, hello. And so I was like, you realize I knew you when you were in your mom's tummy. And she's like, that's cute, but I know you from the stage. Like, she's such a firehouse. So it's a powerhouse. It's so good to have you here, though.
Same here. It's such a delight and a pleasure.
Why Butterfly? That's the first question. Why Butterfly?
My stage name for poetry is Reformed Butterfly. Yes. And before I ever named myself Reformed Butterfly, it was just Butterfly for the longest, because I just identify so deeply, and I can say it more intelligently now at 40 years young. But, for many years, I just appreciated and understood struggle and the growth and development that's most important, which is self-development, that pretty much only happens through transformation. And so someone, they just thought it was interesting that, so to speak, I'm not afraid to die. Ooh. And I say that because I always say that. I've died 1,000 deaths. I've lived and died, because I literally felt that way. Before it was a positive thing, I always felt that way in many different chapters. And since age 11 years old, poetry has been my savior, my best friend, my diary, my anti-suicide medicine. It has been my confidant, my husband. It has been sex when I didn't have it, when I didn't need it but wanted it. Yes. It's been everything to me. And I feel that I truly am a butterfly. Yeah. I am not obviously, because he knows me, I'm saying obviously, I'm very transparent, and I have a lot of colors. I fit in everywhere and almost nowhere. That's why I'm a butterfly.
How did you get started? You're from what we
Brooklyn.
affectionately call the center of the world, Brooklyn, New York. That's
New York.
BK. There it is. So you're from
Brooklyn.
New York, from Brooklyn, New York. Coming up,
yes.
like, what was your childhood like coming up in New York?
Wow. It was a traditional Bed-Stuy upbringing. Yes, I was raised from from one extreme to the next. From about, a baby to age 11, I was raised in an extremely religious Muslim environment. Okay. I'm talking Nation of Islam, FOI, MGT, Malcolm X generation of Muslim. Okay. Very pro-black, so I always had that, but we were homeschooled and very much sheltered. And then after
Dad, Fruit of Islam,
mother and father, both original MGTs and FOIs, like literally one of the original founders. Like after age 11 to 17, it was a completely different transition. Me and my siblings, we didn't live with our mother anymore, and we were raised by the streets. Okay. So we we had a roof over our head. We lived with my father's mother, but she's an much older woman.
So you were running things.
We went from one extreme, being homeschooled and sheltered, never ever being outside, to doing whatever we wanted.
And in transparency, do you think the foundation of growing up in that strict, adherent Nation of Islam, Muslim philosophy helped, or was it something that you had to almost deprogram from today?
I think it was chapters. The first chapter was absolutely stripping myself and deciding what I wanted to do. What I thought was true, what felt true to me, et cetera, and so forth. But, once you're looking for your freedom, like you're 18 to 21-ish years old, I did strip myself. And now, at age 40-ish, I tell my mother all the time, I would literally let her know how I used to think you were a lunatic. Yeah. I thought you were crazy. I thought you were putting too much negativity in us. And I'm so humbled by everything I was taught from my parents, because it's all in my face now, everywhere. People not only, don't like you, they don't love you, but you have to know who you are in this country. And that was so pressing to them. But we didn't understand that as children. We're like,
I just want to go outside and play.
Right. Yeah. And when I say we were raised strict, I mean, we did not go outside and play at all. We did not talk to other children. I could bust out some Arabic for you right now. Yeah. We were homeschooled and self-taught, literally, for many years. And went from that to just living with grandma and running the streets.
So did your two questions, I guess, kind of a two-part, and guys, jump in whenever you're ready. Did you do you practice now? Do you subscribe to the tenets now? And when it relates to your grandmother, was she a religious adherent in some way that you had to now become devoutly Christian, or what have you?
Excellent question, and funny that you mentioned that.
Okay.
So basically, all the principles that I have learned over the years from Islam, Christianity, individuality, self-development, and where I personally am currently, which is more on a comedic and just free experience. I mainly identify with the fact that I looked for something different than Islam because I never felt God's love.
Ooh.
I never understood that. Fear of God was beating into me through Islam. Searching for happiness in anything, going through a transition in my early 20s, I actually found Christianity on my own. I chose Christianity on my own at that time, and I accepted it and lived it, and you couldn't sell me anything different, because for the first time I felt God's love.
And if you could define her love, did you catch that? What does her love and what does his love feel like?
First of all, I caught it. Her love, his love, the ultimate love, the omnipotent love. Oh my goodness. It's the same. And I'm going to write about that. So stop pulling out secrets from my spirit and soul. But I
like interviewing because I think I can hopefully get deep.
I love it, and I realized it on my own. I've called God Allah and Yeshua. I've called God Jesus. I've called God who I call now, which is just God, because I don't have a surname for him. And I will tell you, in every aspect of my life, God has always answered me. God was always there. And all of those times, and even in times when I wasn't calling, he was always there. So Christianity, Islam, none of those things are my current path. Now my current path is just me and God. And I never would have had that without Christianity, because I fell in love with God and understood. Like, you could just talk to God, like a regular conversation.
I don't have to go through intermediaries.
Right. Yeah, and I don't just have to be in a formal, on my knees and,
speaking these ancient words.
Yes, and someone else's prayer.
Yeah.
I don't have to be speaking someone else's prayer because it was written in a book years ago.
Yes.
So it's just so amazing.
I believe what I say is, I love God fiercely. He loves me, and I love God fiercely. And she loves me right now.
I agree.
So
he or she does not care what name that I call him. I know that for a fact.
Allah, God, Jah, Jehovah, Yeshua,
Yahweh.
When you learn and it's a feeling, and I think you
El Hajj, whatever you choose. Yes. Yes.
And we don't have to go outside to find God.
No.
Because that essence is within.
That's why I literally, I'm humbled by the way I grew up, and so appreciative because I'm extremely strong and proud of who I am at my core before it became cool. Before being, conscious was a good thing. I've always been who I am. So I appreciate that, but understanding you can fall in love with God and understanding that feeling.
Yes.
That chase is like no other. There's no love greater.
So explain to me, so you grew up Brooklyn, born and raised, fun times, devout Muslim, then Christian, and then you go off to join the United States military. Like, what was that like, and what preempted that decision?
Well, coming from the tri-states, I had a plan since age 14. The plan was to get gone.
Okay.
So as soon as the recruiter came to me with the plan,
he was like, I can go
I
places?
said, that's a good plan. And long story short, that was the beginning. And I always knew I was leaving. I always knew I was going to be a mother of a daughter. Okay. As far back as I can remember, I always knew those things.
So you joined the United States Navy?
Hoorah.
Marine Corps.
Yes. No.
Navy.
Yes.
You joined the Navy and became, and for those of you who are just tuning in, we are here with Reformed Butterfly, Alicia McFadden, as we talk about her journey to becoming.
I let you say that once.
What? Reformed Butterfly?
It's Elisha.
Elisha.
Yes.
I gotta be it right. I want to make sure everybody who's just tuning in.
He always calls me Butterfly.
I do. I call him, and I've been calling because that's how I met you. I met you as Butterfly.
Yes.
Like, honestly, if your baby's 9, over 10 years ago.
Literally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. And it's weird that it's that long. That
it is.
I've known you in this space. So as we talk about your journey into getting into becoming a poet and sharing your gift with the world, what was it like serving in the military as a conscious Black woman in America and then trying to find your space?
That's a great question. I appreciate that. To be honest, I went in at age 19. Yeah. And I did 5.5, 6 years active duty. So I'm so grateful and thankful for the military because that's where I became a woman. And as I just mentioned, I went to boot camp on my 19th birthday, literally. And from 19 to like 21, 22, that was the years that I let go of religion. I decided I'm going to do things my way. And then while I was in the military, by the grace of God, while I was under that structure, while I was under that discipline, while I was in Seattle, 19, across the country from my whole family, crying home every day because I'm missing everybody and I'm alone.
In the cold.
Right. I wouldn't be who I am today without it, because that's where I let go of the angers from childhood. That's where I got my wow moments that you know, I have freedom, I do have choices, and that leaving from New York and going to another place did not change any of the pains. It did not change any of the situations. Those situations are trapped in your head. And if I would have did those same works, I'm stuck. I can't tell you what my life would be like, because every whisper my whole life was, you're going to end up dead. You're so beautiful. Someone's going to come up to you and cut your face up one day, and someone's going to hurt you and kill you, because I know you won't believe it, because I'm so amazing. But I was angry.
Which is not what I've known since I've known you, through all that you've been
I
through.
was angry.
Wow.
I
So
was so beautiful and so angry.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that?
Literally in the military. Like, you don't have... it don't matter where you're from. You're going to get broke down in the military, or you're going to get kicked out. In respect to your disciplinary issues, they'll break you down. But for me, that was what I needed. I needed that, and I needed structure, and I needed someone to keep showing up, and I needed to be able to keep showing up. And that is all that happened. And also, honestly, not going out partying, drinking, and all that with all my friends. I have always been who I am on the inside. If I show up anywhere, you're going to think I'm the life of the party. I'm not the life of the party. I've always been in my head. I'm an odd person, and I've always owned that.
Speaking of odd, which you bring up, so those of you guys,
and you're odd too.
I'm
you're
strange.
so odd.
I'm strange. That's what you said. So you are, like I said, you have on. This is something so unique, and we'll get back to your life story. But you're wearing 2 different earrings. Those people most can't see because they're on the podcast, but you're wearing 2, and you often do that, and your earrings always mean something. When did you start that, and what is that premise about having the uniqueness of the asymmetrical symmetry that comes through wearing 2 different earrings?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that as well. I can't even tell you like there's some dope story to that. But what I can tell you is I've always been myself in respect to my clothes, how I do my hair, my house, everything. I've always been proud of and excited that I hardly ever in my life have ever, I can count on one hand how many times I've ever paid anyone to do my hair, and I've had my makeup done professionally twice. So I've always taken pride that I have my own fashion sense. I do my own hair, do my own makeup.
You make jewelry.
Right, I literally make jewelry, and over the years, I've just flourished in that, and I just decided, like, I'm do whatever I want to do. So that's what I do. I do whatever I want to do.
Your pieces are so unique. In fact, I was looking at some. I'm going to buy some of the neck pieces, but
I should.
They're just beautiful.
Thank you.
But you just say, like, look, this is me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do, and I get all kinds of feedback. I get weird feedback, even in office settings when I used to not own my independence fully. I used to have people like, this is some interesting earrings or something like that. And if they were a leader, I would, ask them, like, are my earrings too big or anything? And they're like, oh, no, you're fine. So the average feedback is, like, people, they just love it because I dare to be myself.
Have you noticed, and this kind of is for everybody too, guys, as we talk this conversation, have you noticed that here in this time in our existence that there is more of an embrace of the differences that bind us? Have you noticed that?
I agree.
I see that we embrace our hair, we embrace our unique wares, we embrace us. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm somewhat conservative. I'm not going to go all the way out like Young Thug and put on the dress with the ruffles and things.
Right.
I ain't there. I ain't there yet. I'm 40-ish as well.
Right.
So I ain't there yet.
To each his own.
But I will rock a scarf. My mother, as you know, passed away. And as I started to, pass on some of her stuff to her friends and others, I was like, wait a minute.
I could rock some of this. That's right. Okay.
So, like, this is my mother's scarf right here. And so
that's us, though. Every time we see each other, we just like, let me see you. Let me see what you got on. Let me see what you're doing. Yes.
Yeah. So it just seems like now we're embracing the differences of us as opposed to.
And when you
running
say
away.
we, I appreciate that. I know that you mean the rest of the world because we have always been doing that.
Yes.
You and I.
Yes.
But
always. Weirdo, what you call it, but this is just me. This is what you get.
That is what it's all about. Like, just be yourself and dare to do what you choose to do because that's going to make you happy. Yeah. And that's what you want to do. You want to be your truest self.
Absolutely.
Just dare to do it. Right now it's a trend. We'll see what happens after the trend's gone. Yeah. But, you know, it may be earrings now. It could have been makeup a couple years ago. Before that, it might have been my shoe game. But I always been...
on point.
Thank you.
But it's yours. You own that space.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
put
just
you
love
on,
creativity.
Put you on the spot. Can you spit for us first? I hope that we're cool. Can I
we're good. You see my face? I'm a poet, baby.
So can I get at least the first one before we get back into the interview? This is Reformed Butterfly. Hit us.
Godsend. I pray to God that I meet a God, a living, praying, seeing, acting, believing, achieving God, a fit God, a no-quit God, resists against this flirty, dirty world and all its fast attempts, God. I mean a meant God, meaning he was sent from God. I want a God that is all for God. The works of his fingers are lent to God. Bless God, I want a handsome God, a romantic God that can work all these cancers of rejection because his understanding comes from God. He is immersed in God. His spirit bursts for God, helping to crush these broken emotions because his... There you go. That's a simple.
Because you know we go. Oh my! You should have kept going. We were like, the whole room.
I got some snaps in the building. Got some new people on there. Okay, they
whole
feeling
room
it.
lit. Whole room lit. Wow. Okay. I got to get. There was more.
Oh God, you probably don't remember having. It's been a while. All my poems are like 4 to 5 minutes.
That's amazing.
Spoken.
I can't wait to like hear. So we're gonna hit you again.
Yes, yes.
And where can we find you on social media or on the web so that folk can follow you and access your projects, your art? Where can we find you?
Awesome. Just keyword Reformed Butterfly. But right now, honestly, I'm only on Gram and Facebook. As you mentioned, we haven't seen each other for a while. I haven't been in my gift professionally for a couple years. I did get divorced February of 2016. Yeah. And from there until about now, about January of this year, I've been rebuilding my spirit, my soul, my body, just staying on top of life. And
literally into the chrysalis, because before you can become the butterfly, you had to be in the caterpillar stage.
And that's exactly why my name is Reformed Butterfly, because the transitions, they continue to happen. You have to grow and go with them.
Absolutely.
But if you don't grow and go with them, then they're just stuff happening to you, just getting hit upside the head with life. And I do feel that I'm a reformed butterfly because I take the time to reform myself. I take the time to look at my truest self and be my truest self.
So our next question, and we'll come back after the break. But
I see your facial expression. I'm scared of this question.
For the reformed butterfly, since you've been through the divorce, you've had issues with family, you've gone through a lot.
Yes.
What is love? The Rahman Experience continues in just a moment. We'll be
Don't
right
even
back.
play. Don't start.
We'll be right back.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense. 7 million children suffer suffer from asthma more than any other chronic disease. Most asthma attacks are caused by allergic reactions to allergens, including those left behind by cockroaches and mice. In fact, 82% of U.S. households contain mouse allergens, and cockroaches are found in up to 98% of urban homes. How can you protect your family? Find out at pestworld.org. A message from the National Pest Management Association and the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology.
The Rahman Experience continues. Welcome back. And, of course, Reformed Butterfly, the poet with the mostest, there you go, is here with us. And we asked the question before the break, what's love? So what is love?
Why you got to put the mic up all on me like
we
that?
We need to know what love is. And while you pondered that, you got a chance to see my office, which we talked about in the other show.
Love is your office.
And it reminds me that everything I need to do needs to be done in the lens of love.
You know, I don't even need to think. It's just I had to take a deep breath because that's what love will do to you.
Absolutely. And it's not always, I love the way the Greeks kind of divided it into agape, eros, and philios. The brotherly love, the unrequited love, and of course the erotic love.
Right.
I love the fact that you can understand and that you can love fully and completely and it not be something that is heavy.
I agree.
Maya Angelou once said in this great piece, love liberates. Love does not bind. Love does not hold.
I just listened to that this morning.
Oh my! When she said that, it was so freeing. And think about how often we are loving and it's heavy, like, oh, I love him, I love her. Oh.
Or even the mushiness.
Yeah.
You know what's the dopest thing? I could talk for hours about love.
Yes.
But the dopest thing to me is that the essence of God and the essence of love is exactly the same.
Ooh. The essence.
You can't lay your eyes on it. You believe it or you don't. You seek it or you don't. You open up to it, and because you do, it opens up to you or you don't.
But in some way, shape, or form, aren't we all seekers seeking love, even if we don't realize exactly that that's what we're doing?
I agree.
In just being in a part of the human experience?
I agree.
Sometimes we're afraid of love, though.
You say that again?
Sometimes we're afraid of love.
And what does that mean when you say a fear of love? And I'd love to get your feedback on that. So this young man says sometimes we're afraid of love. What does that look like? What does that mean?
Love can hurt. It be the ones that hurt. The ones that you love the most will be the ones that hurt you in the end. In the long run, for a lot of the hurt that you have.
And I guess that my question, he said that love can hurt. Love will hurt you or can hurt you. I suppose my question is, if it really is love,
it doesn't hurt, baby. I really think that, and I understand that thought process. I think we all do, because the ones closest to you will be the people that have the most information about you. You're the most vulnerable to them because they know the most about you. But you become more bigger and more able to be yourself and offer your love and accept the responses, negative or otherwise, when you truly have love. You gotta own love. So you are love. No one can give you that. You wanna know one of the sexiest things ever that I discovered in life?
Yes, tell me, because I ain't figured it out yet.
And you know that's hard.
Because I'm trying to find my sexy.
I own a lot of sexy stuff. So do you. We own a lot of sexy stuff, but this is the sexiest ever. You know, like when you get those butterflies, if you like someone a lot, you're physically attracted to them, or you're past that physical attraction. It's mental, it's everything. You know, and they give you that feeling just when you see them or hear their name. That the dopest thing that I ever discovered is your body is responding to things that you already own. That attraction is the excitement of your soul saying, oh yeah, that's family. Oh yeah, we related. That's me.
Okay.
That's me.
Much like when a baby comes out,
I know exactly.
There's an energy there.
It's an automatic connection.
Yeah.
So that is not always like a lust thing, like, oh, I gotta have this person, gotta have. Sometimes when you feel those real butterflies, like in your stomach, and those things that you really love about another person, like I just love your energy, I love your vibe. That's either you have that same vibe, because we're only attracted to who we are, really, or it's something that you seek and that you want to really develop. So I always say that I'm really proud of myself for the works I've done for myself since February 2016 to date, because I don't have any other entities. It's just been me and God.
Yes.
Through the hardest of the transitions, through the processes. But through that, there's so much independence and freedom that otherwise won't come, because we leech on each other. Yes. And we are so dependent upon each other emotionally, and those things feel good, just like cake feels good at midnight, just like sex feels good anytime. Yes. But it's not good for you
all the time.
It's not good for you all the time.
No,
at all. It's
yes.
good for you in certain settings and when it's supposed to happen.
Because sometimes we replace that whole sex thing with, oh, this is love.
And that is not love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you about, and it's so interesting that I just had this conversation at the gym, where we always see each other.
Right.
And we were talking about, so often people want the thing, whatever the thing is in their life. And I was talking to someone recently, and they said, instead of asking, and I think you do that as well, instead of asking for the thing, I think it's more important that we give thanks for the thing already being there in its essence, because the universe doesn't respond to, oh, I don't want that. So if you say, oh, I don't want that, the universe doesn't see negatives. So it's like, oh, she wants more of that.
Right.
So I'm going to give. So my thing is, I always give thanks. Instead of asking God for the thing, my universal prayer is always thankfulness and gratitude for the thing. And here's the thing, pardon the pun, when you are in the space of gratitude, it attracts more good stuff to you all the time. So I don't have to go and ask for the thing, because things are already there because they're coming, and I spin in this continuum of receiving.
Ashe.
Receiving.
And so it shall be, and so it is.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. You see the head nods. I'm in total agreement.
Yeah.
I can't say that I think that way exactly, but that is definitely a practice that I learned.
Yes.
And sometimes when you are, because this is real life, and I wasn't single by choice over the past few years. My daughter that's 9, the man that I married and conceived with her, he knows him as well.
Yeah.
My ex-husband, I was intentional when I said till death do us part,
yes.
et cetera, and so forth.
Yeah. And I knew you both.
Don't even get me or you
and
started
I thought,
on that chapter.
right, I was like, there's hope
but,
for me yet.
But there still is.
Yeah,
and it is now, because I just feel like that,
See, what I was going to say is you had to go through that to get to this point. There are lessons that we all had to learn. So whether you think it was like, and I'm not a counselor or know any of that stuff.
No, go ahead.
But there is a necessity, like the Islam situation as a child, and then the by yourself situation with grandmother.
My words, but
you had to go through that because it informed the reform that created the you that you are.
I agree.
Do you feel it all
and even
for
now, everything did. I believe everything did and does happen for a reason, and I do think on that topic, like sometimes I don't know. And I'm a person that I'd love to practice excellence, self-excellence.
Yes.
But sometimes it's human nature. And I do feel like, I'm too fly, I'm too beautiful, I'm too smart, I'm too pretty, I'm too a lot of things to not have exactly what I want in respect of a man or a partner. And I had to be honest with myself. I'm not even open to the universe for a partner. I'm just not scared anymore, but I'm not open to the universe. So right now, I am my truest self in respect to love, because I know what I want, And for me, everyone's different. I can't play little games. I got to have the big bang. That's the only thing that I really want.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm not ready because I'm scared. So the prayer is 2 words. And it brings tears to my eyes every time. It's just thank you. That's it.
That's it.
That's the whole prayer because I have
Gratitude.
no more words. The words will be a rant. The words would be some form of it's not fair. Of why not me? I'm great. Of when is it time? I did the work. Those are all complaints. And I appreciate the process. So why seal it with a complaint? I just got to say thank you.
And that gratitude spins
And
the
you
continuum.
you helped me a lot last week when we just saw each other for literally about 2-3 minutes in the gym speaking, and we were talking very briefly about relationships some kind of odd way, and I'm like, man, I'm so sick of these dudes. And you're like, you don't need to do anything different. Not you don't. Like, I don't see where you need to do anything different. And from a man that I respect and a man that is genuine, it was so refreshing. And that's all it takes sometimes. And it was just a good pick-me-up because it's hard out here.
And a reminder of the fabulousness of you.
And it's nothing but God whispering that to me through your essence. It is received. Yeah. And it meant so much to me because that was supposed to happen.
And we never know.
I needed that.
I was, and for all of us here, guys, as you guys know, I don't have any children.
Right.
And I don't have any regrets. I've worked really hard between, Nickelodeon and on stage and TV and film and all the stuff I've done in my career. I've worked a lot.
Right.
And if I had a regret, which I have no regrets, but if I did have a regret, it would be that I don't have a kid yet.
Right.
Because I also don't want to be...
I love that you said yes.
Absolutely. I don't want to be the 52-year-old at the daycare like, your granddaddy brought you to the daycare today.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm certainly looking forward to fatherhood. But, and the reason I bring it up, did you see that story? There was a story in the paper recently about a young lady who happened to be in the military as well. And she reported her daughter missing. And they found a body in Alabama that they do believe that it's the child's body. And, my show is usually about news. And I'm, as a former anchor and reporter and somebody who still is involved in freelance journalism, I'm always checking the news. And this story was one of those stories that just broke me down. Because as much as I know I would be a stellar dad, like I would be a helicopter father. My daughter would be like, Daddy, I'm going to pick grass. Baby, we picking grass? I'm going to have cameras and a party. And like, my baby picking grass today, I'm going to be that kind of dad. I know that. And to think that someone, I don't care how hard it is, would feel the need to, whatever the circumstances are, which we don't know, but allegedly in that child's life, because of the hardships that were put on by having a child or allowing this child, as we see from reports now, roam free at 2, 3, 4 years old around an apartment complex. And just saying that I'm looking forward to that. When you talk about that whole universal talk, it was that, and I think we kind of, all of us bandy off each other because it just reminds us that, for me, it was my reminder that, you don't have it right now, but be available, as you said earlier.
That's right.
And even though I don't have physical children, even though the folk that I teach as a thought leader here on the college level are not that much younger than me,
right,
I'm still able to provide leadership in that space.
But that's your affirmation to what you really want.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, for the development
of
that you're
these
able
minds
to give.
And
these adult, young children, young adults, that you are raising up or helping to raise up. And I do believe that, I don't really necessarily do it all the time, but I'm trying to be more conscious. And because instead of the average person that may want to meet other adults and that are grown, you're going to go to a nightclub, you're going to go somewhere to a bar after work. That is absolutely, as you know, not my scene. That's not going to happen. But that for me would never work anyway.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work.
Yeah.
That's not what I want. So if I already have what I want, then I can just think about the future man and blush and think about the work that he's doing. Because I put my work in, my soul work. Yeah. So I get excited knowing he's doing his work too. And if I meet him today, he's not who I need. That maybe we're both still growing. Maybe we're both still going.
And it's a path that helps to grow, for everybody to grow.
And just like you, like I feel that's the same thing with you taking care of your body by choice, 6 days, 7 days a week. You getting dressed and
going to the gym in rain, sleet, snow, hail.
And daring to just do everything with love. Like, why shouldn't you have your ultimate love story or a big piece of it that you feel you may want?
It'll happen. I believe
it will.
So what's next for you? Like, as you are there books? Is there a music project? Obviously, I know you're kind of just getting back to the road where you feel some sense of normalcy, although what is normal?
Right.
But is there something on the horizon? Because like right now, as a part of those of you who are on the podcast listening don't know that we are also live on Instagram. And I can't tell you how many people said that you've inspired them.
Thank you so much.
Over and over. And
I
that
really appreciate it.
They were like, can we pass the collection plate for her? Where can we get her stuff? So is there something that's going to come up? Obviously, we know we can find you on social media, Reformed Butterfly, which is what you can put in. But what is it that's next? Is there a project in the works?
And I appreciate you asking that. Honestly, the project that I want to release are several different projects at once. And to be completely honest with you, they're all works that are about 75 or more % done. So the works that I'm going to do or bring out is I do have a CD. It's about 90% done. And I have 3 books that I'm working on. And one of them is a book of poetry. But ultimately, these are dreams, goals, aspirations, gifts, godly ordained assignments that have been on hold for about 3 years. So I have several things in the works, and the main gift that I want to open up to is, just want to figure out how to become more available and more social, I guess, on social media, because I know it's so important.
Yes.
And I have to let people that don't know me hear me, see me, and reach me so that I can allow God to show me what it is that He has for me, because that's my ultimate gift.
Yeah. Just to shine.
Yes. To reach shine. People.
Yeah.
That's it.
Why is it that you, and we talked about fitness just a little bit, but what was it that started you on your fitness journey? And why are you so happy in the gym? You're dancing,
you see me blushing, right?
And moving and shaking and like, hey, and we're trading music. What is it that has made you so excited about fitness and that helps you to create that infectious family atmosphere when you go to the gym?
Well, thank you for that. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's not the gym.
Okay.
It's that thing where you realize, like, I am happy. Like, this does make me happy. Like, this gives me joy. Like, I'm thinking about this like I would be thinking about Boo. Like, I just got done with this. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with it tomorrow. It became that for me, and then I fell in love with it. And I've always been that person that has been applauded for my body, my shape, just because I'm very curvaceous. Thank you very much. And I have always, I own what I got, but I was not, and I still am not 100% comfortable in all of my skin. And that was my divorce, one of the biggest deaths of my life, and that was the last straw in respect to my body, because before I got where I am now in February of 2016, I was 256 pounds, and I've come down from there every step of the way.
Naturally, of course.
Naturally.
Yeah,
when I say naturally, I don't mean no diet pills, no anything.
Yes.
I power lift, and I
yes you do.
And I lived on an alkaline diet.
Yep.
And then I transitioned to intermittent fasting. I became a pescatarian. That's living off of fruits and vegetables, fish, and for me, shrimp. It just became my lifestyle, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah. It's a whole lifestyle change.
I agree.
You know, what I say about going to the gym, or not even just going to the gym, because I always do something fitness related.
Awesome.
Is that my external condition is a reflection of my internal circumstances. So what you see, they're like, oh, you look good, or you thick, or you this, what? No, what you see.
Yeah, that don't matter to me.
This is a reflection of what's inside. And so I had to make those choices that were internal before they could be seen externally.
Yeah, because all the dudes too, they was, your booty this and you thick that. Yeah, you don't know how my knees feel though.
Because I gotta carry the booty around.
Somebody come and get me. Can I run?
Yeah. I got it. I got it.
So I love it. You know, I love fitness.
Absolutely, and it's something, and you do it like with so much joy, and I think that's what's infectious about everybody that we see. So before we get out of here, because you got to come back, of course.
I can't wait, and I'm gonna have a project to
promote.
Yes,
but I know people are already asking. Can we get another poem?
Of course. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. In the name of God, the most beneficent, the most merciful. I'm finding my words in a loss of you, in a loss of love. The cost is tragic to my soul. You say I'm here to conquer all the earth, but I'm afraid of men and mice, Lord. And I'm afraid of the voice I no longer hold. I know your verse, but I can't hear you. And we used to converse all the time. And now the only voice I have is mine during this trying life, during these trying times. Knowing you hear my cries, but my faith is dying. My fate seems binded. My happiness has been compromised, blindsided by evictions and lost commitments and conflicts within. For I've tried and failed, Lord. Held captive by the things that's never happened. Scattered pain between body and soul causes scattered thoughts between right and wrong and where I belong. Feeling I've never been anywhere secure, anywhere stable, anywhere where I was able to be me and be believed that it was okay to just be me. And now loss of breath rapes every chance of sweet dreams. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. In the name of God, the most beneficent, the most merciful, I'm finding my words in a loss of you and a loss of love. The touch is tragic to my soul. Pain loosened by fear. Gritted teeth and pulling from the roots of my hair just to be aware I'm alive. This life and the deal is whatever you make it. And I've never been one to give up nor fake it, no matter what it may be. So I come to you, God, honestly, self esteem depleted, ostracized from right of mine. I can't fight, and even worse, I can't find you in my words nor my verse. I'm calling for you every way I know how. Calling for you every way I know how. Dios, oye mi llanto. Dios, oye mi llanto. Mira las lágrimas de mis ojos. Lord, see the tears from my eyes. Lord, hear my cries. Lord, I'm losing. Lord, I'm lost. Bismi Allah Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The prayer.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
When I was doing the prayer, I heard him in the background.
انت بتعرفي شوية عربي. فلا that's Rahman, eh? You know, I mean, as my name, I gotta speak Arabic.
Yes, oh my
Ooh,
God.
the energy. I think we just kind of floated in.
Yeah, I had to focus and stop looking at y'all because the energy in here almost had my eyes water up.
Everybody's crying.
I knew you was gonna cry.
Oh my God.
This is probably one of the greatest shows ever.
Oh
and I'm so glad we had Nikki Giovanni on and other poets.
Me life.
Sonia Sanchez is coming on.
I can't even.
And now you're in that illustrious, distinguished category.
I was just telling someone, like, he had just had Nikki Giovanni on the show. Killer Mike's going to be on the show soon, and I'm up in the mix.
Charlamagne's the God.
Oh my God.
I cannot ask for a better show. And I
really appreciate
and it's just
that.
me. Like, of course, my learning team. Y'all, again, shout out to the learning team, again, who are helping to pull the show together. But the funny part is, like, I'm used to being on TV with producers and all that stuff. It's just me and my couple dollars to create this podcast.
I am so proud of you, and it's no shock to me that it's just you. And I just love that you asked me to, you know, if I thought I would want to do this, because it is a great opportunity for me, and even being here is me being in my gift.
Yes.
I was able to reach people that I otherwise wouldn't have, so thank you all.
You got a hit right now from Jamaica. People from Jamaica are saying thank you for the love all the way from Jamaica.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I know, I don't have to hope. I know you can feel my energy, and I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And all of your growth, everything that God has for you, and I know that the works also came through transition. Yes. And that's why I'm so proud of you.
More to come. You got to come back. Promise.
I will.
Promise.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm going to be cuter next time. I didn't know I was going to be live.
This is Reformed Butterfly. We'll leave all the information over on Facebook and Instagram and all the social medias, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey there, thanks so much for tuning into the show. That brings it to a close. This is the beginning of The Realness, Season 3 of the Rahman Experience, and like I said, the Reformed Butterfly took us home. Don't forget, you can check out the Reformed Butterfly on my favorite social media, Instagram. You can find her at Pretty Wings. That's PrettyWingzzz7. I'll leave those details on my Instagram and Facebook and all of the other social media. But remember, if no one's told you, absolutely, unequivocally, I love you. Now join me here next week when we've got so much more, and we're going to have such a good time. The Rahman Experience, it continues. See you next time.
It's the Rahman Experience. The Rahman Experience. The knowledge that he dropping, most dismiss and make you curious.
And we can't mess this up, cause you know he gon' be furious.
He bring the news to you, cause it's the truth, ain't no stopping it. Say you didn't know, well here's the proof coming from
Rahman Johnson, ain't no straight out of Compton. Duval County with that weight that we rockin'. Now you tuned in
to the Rahman Experience.